and looking for a foul. Kicks out to Ross. Ross to Marshalonis, and that three will be good for him by the right wing. Cutting the lead down to 6 for the Cougs. Calmes, left short corner, dribbling, looking for Eric Strip at the top of the key. Eric Strip facing up against Morawskis. A great pass over to the Tharcison for the easy dunk.
Thank you, David.
Another fantastic pass, and so far just easy stuff inside for Washington State. A great start for the team.
Ross bringing up the basketball mostly for the Gales, something a little unusual. Usually Marcelonis has been doing that. Ross kicking out to Morawskis. Sets a screen for Marcelonis, and Calmes is going to get the foul.
Yeah, Calmes put his hands in the cookie jar that time, and he calling for a reach, but almost got all ball.
First personal, first team foul.
First personal for the Cougs. Cougs still leading 14-6. We're 16 minutes left in this first half. Inbound to Ross. Ross looking for Morawskis. Morawskis handoff to Marcelonis. Marcelonis at the top of the key. 10 on the shot. Ross over to Bennett, corner 3. Back to Ross. He's going to cut to the lane. His little jump shot layup is going to bounce off the bank and in and cut the lead down to 6. Calmes kicks out to Price. Price, a great dump off pass to Calmes for the easy finger roll.
One of the best starts of the season so far for Washington State, and they're just getting everything inside, totally different than what they tried to do against Santa Clara on Thursday.
Marcelonis gives it back to Ross and maybe set something up for the Gales. Handoff back to Marcelonis. Ross not looking for the 3. Bennett pump fakes the 3. He's looking to set something up. He goes to the lane, hits Calmes, which maybe should have been a foul. And it goes up, rebounded by Tharcison. Outlet to Price. Price looking for Watts. Watts goes up, no foul call. Going to be rebounded by Morawskis.
Not a bad play by Watts, but he tried to draw the foul instead of just going up strong. I think if he shoots that just confidently, he scores.
Marcelonis looking for the screen by Saxon. Dump pass off the roll. Saxon, his lay, no good. Rebound by Morawskis, but there's going to be a foul on the ground. Timeout. Okafor going to be checking in, as well as Favors for the Cougs.
First personal.
And the Cougs right now leading 16-8, 15-03 in this basketball game. And Davis, one of the best starts that I have seen from the Cougs this season, doing super well against this 17-3 St. Mary's Gales team.
Very good start. And what I'm loving is that they're getting inside, getting really good cuts. And that's something that they didn't do on Thursday. They started 3 of 3 from 3 against Santa Clara, but then they only ended up with 9 3-pointers made. So this time against St. Mary's, who's a much better opponent defensively than Santa Clara, they're attacking the rim and they're getting easy looks. And I think that's what David Riley has important is, guys, that we need to get to the basket. Those are the easiest shots to make. We can't live and die by the 3 every time.
And it's already 5 minutes into this first half. So hopefully the Cougs can continue against this great St. Mary's team.
Yeah, you talked about the point guards to start the game, and Calmes already up to 6 points on the day, and St. Mary's only has 8 as a whole team. So they're doing a really good job. Marcelonis does have 3 points so far, but that's the point guard matchup, and we haven't really seen the bigs go at it because it's been pretty up and down so far. But if it does get into a slow-paced game, that's where St. Mary's can thrive. But Washington State needs to keep the pace, and I think that's one of the big keys to the game is that Washington State needs to play fast. That's what they do. They're one of the best teams at playing fast in the country, and St. Mary's, on the other hand, is not very efficient when they play fast. They're currently ranked in the top 300. There's 364 teams in college basketball Division I, and St. Mary's is ranked 348th in pace. They average 64.8 possessions per 40 minutes. Washington State averages 70.6. They're 41st in pace. So Washington State averages 6 more possessions per game than St. Mary's, and that's being shown right now because they have 16 points, but they're just up and down the floor, not settling and taking time off the clock. Only 5 minutes have gone by, and they're already at 16.
Yeah, it's really showing, especially on the defensive side for the Cougs. Kelmies had that near steal, but Tharcison actually grabbed it and then outletted it to him. But yeah, this pressure to play quick is very unfamiliar for St. Mary's.
Yeah.
We're coming out of this timeout. A few new Cougs have checked into the ball game. Looks like Okafor and Vavers. It's going to be Gales basketball, though. Marshall Lones is going to end up with it. New shot clock. He's at the top of the key, guarded by Okafor. He throws a dot over to Morauskas, and he's going to pump fake Okafor and get the easy lay.
Great pass to Morauskas, and the lanky big guy. He's been huge for St. Mary's so far this season.
Calmy swings back over to Price at the top of the key. Tharcison looking to carve into the lane. A great move behind his back, but kicks it back out. Calmes is going to get the handoff at the top of the key. Screen by Okafor, rolling. He gives him the roll. A great move by Okafor, but misses the lay. 16-10 ball game. Morauskas fakes the three. Looks to Ross. Sets a screen on Calmes, but he doesn't use it. Swings it over to Saxon. Morauskas, Ross, three ball, no good. Rebound by Tharcison. Outlet to Calmes. Calmes splits two defenders, tries to go to the cup, but it's going to get deflected away, stays Cougar basketball.
Baseline inbound is going to be a big thing if they can get Okafor or Price at the basket. They haven't really been able to get a lot of easy looks underneath so far this season, but St. Mary so far giving up a few buckets inside. If they can get a steal one here on the baseline, essentially, is what I'm trying to say.
For sure. Luan Watson going to check into the game for Tharcison. Price looking for Watts. He's at the left short corner. Gives it back to Price. Swings it to Calmes. Screen by Price. Calmes back to Price. Swings it back to him. Calmes is going to pull it for a three. Shot clock was low. Rebound by Morauskas. Marshall Lones is going to cross the division line. Guarded by Calmes. Looks for Morauskas. Three ball. And that three is good. Shooting threes for the Gale is something that's been very unusual, but they knock one down.
Yeah, they're already 3 for 5. They only shot 5 threes on Thursday against San Francisco in their 20-point win.
Watts left elbow, looks to Price at the top of the three. Price hands off to Calmes. Calmes drives into the lane for the hard layup. Rebound Okafor. The putback is good.
Great putback by Okafor. Right place, right time, and then the bigger, stronger Okafor scores.
18-13 ball game. 12:52 left in this first half. Ross, right short corner. Looking back to Marshall Lones. Marshall Lones fakes the handoff to Saxon. Gives it to them. But he was falling out of bounds, and he's going to end up throwing it away.
Yeah, wild pass that time from Saxon. A very veteran guy. You don't see that a lot from him. He was falling down and just had to chuck that back and way too high over the top of Morauskas. Wow. That was a really high pass. I mean, Morauskas is a huge guy, and he threw it way over the top of him.
Yeah, the Seattleite, he nearly threw it to Eric Strip, who just checked into the game over by the scores table.
Yeah.
Luan Watts is going to bring up the ball for the Cougs. Cougs still leading by 5. Screen by Calmes. Watts still has the rock. Watts going into the post. Kicks it out to Okafor. He's going to be on the right post. Swings it back to Watts. 10 on the shot clock. Facing Hardaway up. And throws up kind of a fadeaway lay. And it's going to get wedged into the rim. Going to be a jump ball.
Yeah, we've got a wedgie in Pullman. That's awesome. Love those.
And it looks like Hardaway checked in, the son of Penny Hardaway, former NBA All-Star and very popular player, and who's also now the coach at Memphis. He's going to check in the game, who guarded Watts. Marshall Lones bringing up the rock for the Gales. Ross is going to get it, swings it back to him. Marshall Lones gives it to Hardaway, gives it back to Ross at the top of the key. 10 on the shot clock. Ross backing down into the post and gets the and one.
Tough finish that time from Ross, and drawing the contact. Washington State, not that many fouls so far, but they have to be able to avoid that as the game progresses.
Yeah, you don't want a team like St. Mary's to like try to heat up. We're going to take a short break real quick. We'll be back with you. You are listening to Cougar Basketball on KUGR. Halftime games usually for students, and we had a student from Washington State just hit a half-court shot in front of this big crowd here tonight and earned, I think, 50,000 Alaska Airline miles for free. So props to him. Looked like he was super hyped up. The whole crowd was going crazy. And, just a great way to kind of start this game, kind of like how the Cougs started this game. Up against a really good St. Mary's team and what would be a huge quad one win for the Cougs at home after coming off that pretty nasty loss against Santa Clara on the road.
Well, Calme's still with 6 points, and on the other side, Marshallone is still with just his 3. The last time we talked about these two guys, they had the same stat line, and they have held there. Calme's 3 for 5. He was 1 of 7 on Thursday, and he's really come back strong. We were watching him in warm-ups, and he had a little tape around the right wrist, and he did bank one off the side of the backboard. And then we were kind of concerned, but he's come out and had a great start to this game.
Extremely great start. Jordan Ross from Utah is at the charity stripe to shoot one for this and one opportunity to cut this Cougar lead to 2. 11:52 in this ball game. If you're just joining us, the Cougs are leading 18-15. Ross for the St. Mary Gales. His free throw is good. 2-point lead. Price inbounds to Calmes. Calmes entry to Eric strip, top of the key, looks to Price, fakes the 3, backs down, going to swing it back out to Favors. Favors hands out to Calmes. Great little dime to Price, who tried to lay it up. It looked like he maybe got fouled or.
That was rejected by Saxon, but it did look like there was a lot of contact.
Marshallonis on the other side of the court. Looks for Hardaway. Hardaway looking for Saxon in the post. A big mix match opportunity that no one is looking at. Marshallonis gives it to Morauskas. Back to him. Screen by Morauskas. Swings it back to Morauskas. He's going to put up a 15-footer. No good. Rebound by Watts. Watts taking his rebound down to the court. Stops his dribble. Gives it to Price. Hands it back off to him. Watts cutting into the lane. By himself, guarded by Saxton. Swings it out to Favors. Handoff Calmes. 10 on the shot clock. Calmes right through the lane, not guarded at all for the easy lay. 2016 Cougs lead.
He's had a lot of those opportunities right at the hoop, uncontested layups, and Calmes will capitalize almost 10 times out of 10 on those.
Cougs lead 4. Ross has the ball for the Gales. Entry to Morauskas, back to him. Ross, screen by Favors. Ross is going to cut right into the lane and nearly like the identical thing on the other side, an easy lay for him. Calmes is going to get that quick inbound, try to race down the court, but they're going to call an offensive foul as he drives to the cup.
Yeah, he pushed off on Ross. He was really hustling down the court. He was a blur, but as soon as he got approached by contact, he just used that chicken wing, and you can't do that.
Parker Garrett's and Case Wynot are going to check into the game for the Cougs. And it looks to be also Mikey Lewis, the Oakland native. He's going to check in for the Gales as well. Morauskas inbounds the basketball to Marshallonis. Saxon, a good screen. Morauskas kicks out to right corner to Morauskas. Gives it back to him, though. Marshallonis cutting into the lane. A couple kicks out. Lewis is going to end up with it. 9 on the shot clock. Trying to make something happen against Wynot. He's going to turn back. Swings it out to intended by Morauskas. Watts is going to get the steal and a fancy little finger roll layup. A little jelly on that for Lawan Watts after that stolen pass.
That was jelly indeed. Ooh. That was a great finish. He got the defender to fly by and then just easily laid that up with some English.
Cougs lead by 4. Morauskas at the top of the key, drives into the lane. A finger roll identical on the other side.
Wow.
Cuts the lead to 2.
Well, that's kind of what you see out of these players. If they do one thing on the other side, they're like, I'm going to one-up you on this side, and that's exactly what happened.
A lot of copycatting going on in this ball game. Price has the ball in the right corner, swings to Wynot, looking at Eric Tripp, gives it to Garrett. Watts now has the ball top of the key, looking at Eric Tripp in the post, an easy little half spin for the easy layup for Eric Tripp.
Yeah, that point basically from Lawan Watts, because Eric Tripp, there was no way he was missing that one because of the perfect placement on the pass.
Cougs lead by 4. 8:38 left in this ball game. Morauskas gives it to Lewis at the top of the key. Morauskas tried to draw in the lane, deflected, picked up by Wynot. Wynot giving to Watts. Watts to Price. Gives it back to him. Looks for him to set up, and Watts is going to drive into the lane for another easy lane. He is fired up as well. Cougs lead by 6.
They just continue to punish St. Mary's inside. They haven't taken a 3 in a couple of possessions.
8:07 left in this ball game. 26-20. Marshallonis not making a ton happen here tonight. He averages 13 for the Gales. Ross entry into the post for Saxon. A beautiful backdoor cut pass from Saxton over to, I believe it was Morauskas. Gives the Gales 2. Watts on the other side, looking at Wynot, who gives it over to Price at the right elbow. 15-footer's good. Extends the lead to 6.
Yeah, they're just 1 of 2 from 3 tonight, totally flipping the script on this St. Mary's team that doesn't shoot the 3 all that well. Washington State getting everything inside.
Morauskas gives it to Lewis, who bobbles the ball, flicks it over to Morauskas. Back over to Marshallonis. Tries the entry to Saxton, and it is just a bad pass, overthrown. Cougar basketball. We're going to have a timeout here. Yeah, the Cougs right now still continuing to do well. They're up 6 right now, 28-22, 7 minutes left in the half.
They're having help side come over, and then it's forcing some bad passes. We just saw there where there was a turnover as they tried to get it down to Saxon, and they've done a good job rebounding. That was one of the things that I thought was going to be important in this game, was rebounding against a team that's 3rd in the nation in rebound percentage, which means that if there's an available rebound, they get over 60% of the rebounds that are available. And so Washington State's done a really good job. They've got 6 rebounds, and St. Mary's has 7. So they are still at rebounding them, but it's really close. And if you get that basically even, that's fine. You just don't want to have that plus 5 to 10 advantage for St. Mary's. And they've done a great job rebounding. And then on offense, they're getting the ball and pushing it quickly up the floor. St. Mary's doesn't want to play fast. They want to play slow, and that's kind of making their offense tired on the other side when they're having to sprint down the court and watch you lay it in and read the back of your jersey and see Calmese's name over and over and over again. That's what they've had to do. And then they go back down and they're tired. They turn it over, and here we go back down the floor. So Washington State's doing a really good job capitalizing on an entire 5-group unit doing the right things every single time down the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. I really wanted to really hone in on Marshallonis and how he hasn't really heated up tonight. He's one of those guys that if you allow him to, he can score into the lane, he can make plays happen and gives it off to Saxon or other players on his team. But Calme's on the flip side just doing extremely well. Just wanted to, capitalize on Marshallonis and how Calme's is just playing him extremely well and slowing him down right now into this basketball game. It's making a huge difference for the Gale side of the basketball.
Yeah, it almost feels like Marshallonis is a non-factor in this game. He's got 5 points, which is the second highest amount for St. Mary's, but he's just 2 of 4, so only 4 shots for Marshallonis. He's one of their best players. He's the thing that drives them forward. So when like that only has 5 points and he's really been ineffective tonight, that just goes to show how well the defensive side has been for Washington State, and St. Mary's has to adjust with that, and they're going to need to get their guys going because if their superstars aren't performing, who else is going to step up?
Exactly. We're going to end this timeout. Cougs are still leading by 6, 28-22. Some new Gales players have checked in the game. Harry Wessels, the Australian, as well as Mikey Lewis is back in the game, and then Ashton Hardaway is also back as well. Calmes is going to bring up the rock. Looking for a screen by Okafor. His roll, looked at him, swings out to Price, short corner, gives it to Watts, top of the key. Another screen by Okafor, gives him after the roll. Okafor bodies his way into the post, but it's going to get called for a travel.
Was a good screen from Okafor and a really nice bounce pass. It kind of looked like it went through the legs, but I think it was just on the outside and then just a turnover. But good play, just not a great result.
Kind of a 3-quarter press for the Cougs, but it softens up. Tharcison back into the game. Lewis hands over to Hardaway, and off of his knee, going to be Cougar basketball.
Another great defensive possession by Washington State. They've had a number of great opportunities, St. Mary's, but then they just turn it over. I mean, they had an open look, but they couldn't get the pass off because he dribbled it off his knee.
6:37 left in this ball game. Cougs still lead by 6. Calmes was trying to drive into the lane, had an open freeway, but the ball bounces off his foot. Going to be Gales basketball. Like I said, copycatting on both sides. Another soft type of press. Ross is going to bring up the ball, though, for the Gales as it softens up. Ross, top of the key, looking for the roll by Wessels. Morauskas working his way into the lane for the easy 2 for the Gales. Watts is going to take it on the other side, looking for Tharcison. Gives it over to Calme, screen by Price. Price is going to get the ball, hands it back to him. Calmes to Watts. Watts to Tharcison. He's at the left corner. Looking to Okafor in the post, gets it batted away, and doesn't go for the loose ball. The Gales are going to end up with it. And Lewis is going to go up for the lay, gets fouled, doesn't make the shot. He's going to go to the line. It didn't look like Tharcison went for that loose ball when it got tipped away and ended in a fast break situation for St. Mary's.
Yeah, it looked like he opted to try to protect the basket going back, and he thought Price maybe was going to get on the ball. But if you're David Riley, maybe you'd like to see some of your guys dive on the court. But Thrasherson then goes down and commits a foul. So
yeah,
not a great play from Thrasherson that time, but I think he'll learn from that and get better next time.
You would hope so. And Hardaway's the actual person to shoot the free throws. The first one's good. Cuts the Coug lead to 3, 28-25, 5:49 left in the first. And Price is going to take a break. Eric Strepp enters the game again. Hardaway's second free throw rattles in. Cougs lead only by 2 now. Calmes bringing up the ball for the Cougs. Screen by Okafor. Calmes dribbles back out, looks to Eric Strepp. Watts trying to set up a play for the Cougs. Tharcison gets the ball, a handoff to Calmes. 10 on the shot clock. Calmes back to Eric Tripp, fakes the three, drives it to the lane. A little step back, 15-footer's good.
Might have got away with the little push off on that right arm. He freed himself, but knocks down the jumper. They don't call it, so it's not a foul.
Absolutely. And Ross handed it back over to Hardaway. Ross is going to try to drive into the lane, and he's going to get it easy too, cutting that lead still back down to 2. Calmes looking for Okafor. Gives it back to him. Calmes dribbling into the paint. Hand off to Tharcison. There's going to be a foul as he was trying to go to the cup off the handoff. Foul looks to be on Lewis. Gonna stay Cougs ball. 4:52 in this first half. Cougs leading 30-28. Calmes to inbound at the baseline. Okafor on the left block. Tharcison at the right elbow. Eric Tripp at the left. The official in Calmes talking for some reason. Taking a long time. He's going to get the ball, Calmes. And he's going to give it to Watts at short corner on the right side. Faces him up. Goes up to the lane. Hard foul. He's going to go to the line.
Yeah, Hardaway going to pick up that foul. And they were jockeying for positioning on that inbound the entire time. And then Watts goes right at him to draw the foul on Hardaway.
Yes, they were. And Randy Bennett right now, pretty upset with the call, but it looked to me, I don't know about you, a pretty visible foul. I mean,
yeah,
Watts kind of fell to the ground pretty hard, but Bennett, I guess, a little more old school, did maybe agree with the call. First free throw, good. Cougs go up by 3.
Bennett was trying to look up at the scoreboard for a replay, but they don't really do replays at Beasley. They kind of just like to keep the stream going live.
Absolutely, especially if it's in the Cougs' favor. Lawan Watts at the line. Second free throw rattles in. And Favors is going to check back in for the Cougs. Watts is going to take a breather.
Yeah, Favors with that right and left hand. He has broken bones in both hands earlier in the season. We thought he was going to be done. He missed time since December 2nd, then came back on Thursday, had a pretty big impact in their 28-point loss, although they did lose by a lot. But he was back on Thursday. That's good to see him back in the lineup.
Ross is going to get it for the Gales. Hands off to Hardaway. Ross is going to end up with it again. Looking for a screen by Wessels. Ross gets stolen away by Calmes. Eric Tripp took Calmes for the easy lay. Fast break, 2 points. Cougs go up by 6.
That was a great pass from Eric Tripp. He led Calmes perfectly. A little quarterback pass floater over the top, and then Calmes finishes it off.
Starters coming back in for the Gales. They're at the scorer's table. Fans are standing around here at Beasley. It is hype. Ross, top of the key, looking for Morauskas. Gives it back to him. Lewis, 3-ball, good. Silences the crowd.
St. Mary's shooting the 3. That's 4 made threes now. They're 4 of 6, and just 5 total in the last time they played, and they don't shoot the 3 very well.
Calmes is fouled as he tried to face up and go to the lane. And it looks like he's going to go to the line. Or no, he is fouled by number 2, Jordan Ross. And we're going to take a quick timeout. We're going to take a little break as well. Cougs are leading 34-31 Beasley Coliseum. We'll be back with more Cougar basketball. You're listening to KUGR. We are back in the Palouse. We are in a tight game, but
inside the hoop. If you're dunking it and you're laying it in, that's exactly what you need to do, and that's what they've done so far. Calmese has 10 points, and almost all of them have come just from easy, uncontested layups. Thraskerson has 4. He's got a dunk and a layup tonight. Eric Strip with a fantastic pass right before they hit the break. It was a great pass to Calmese that gave him 10 points, and I just love how easy the baskets are that they're getting, because you can translate that to the second half to any game. It's hard to shoot the three consistently. It's a hard shot in basketball. It is worth the most points, so teams love to do it. But getting the ball inside consistently is how you win ball games.
Yeah, it looks like the Gales are kind of changing the script on what they usually do. They try to get it into the bigs, like Saxton, but they've been shooting a lot more threes. Ross had a triple not long ago. Marshallonis, I think, has hooked up a few. So they're trying to get something going. Going to be Cougar basketball after that. Calmese had been fouled. Line. Hand off to Tharcison, nearly lost. Gives a crazy pass to Price. He's going to snag it. 12 on the shot clock. Hands it over to Calmese. Cuts into the lane, which has been visible. And, oh, no. And Calmese looks to be hurt on the foul. He's holding his ankle. Maybe he's good. He's going to be limping in a little bit.
We'll see if they sub somebody in for him.
I don't know.
He's going to stay in there. But if he's compromised, I would probably opt to get him out, because if he's going to be on the defensive side,
he's limping.
Guarding Marshallonis, that's going to be huge.
Yeah. Coug's going to press. Calme's not getting a sub. He's limping visibly. Someone needs to grab him. Marshallonis bringing up the ball. Swings over to Morauskas. Morauskas to Bennett. Bennett looking at Lewis. Lewis is going to go to the cup. Nearly loses it, guarded by Price. Marshallonis is going to try to capitalize. Tries to throw off a dump to Saxton, but it's going to be thrown out of bounds. And Calmese is still in the ball game. Yeah, they were lucky that they turned that over, because Calmese got burned pretty quickly by Marshallonis, and then he tried to dump it off for another pass, but very problematic ankle right now. 3 minutes left in this first half. Tharcison looks to Eric Strip on the right wing. Gives it to Calmese. Price at the arc. Entry to Watts in the post. Jump hook, no good. Lewis is going to get the board for the Gales. He's at the left wing. Swings it over to Morauskas. Faces up Tharcison. Tries to go up. And there's going to be a blocking foul on Eric Strip. A lot of fans are unhappy. Maybe wanted an offensive foul off of maybe a little push-off. Yeah, it looked like Eric Strip was moving when he got he didn't really get his feet set. He wasn't in the restricted area, but it's going to be a block. So he wasn't shooting. It's just an on-the-floor foul. But Eric Strip, he's pleading his case that he was set, but he was moving his feet when he slid over. Can't do that if you want to get that charge. Marshallonis, entry to Saxton. Saxton in the post, backing down, but kicks it out. Lewis is going to get it. 3 ball, no good. Rebound was going to end up to Morauskas, but Watts is going to end up with it. Eric Strip, 3 ball, back iron, no good. Rebound Saxton. Good shot from Eric Strip. It was an open shot, and there were rebounders in there. Yep. Love to see it. Morauskas, he's going to pull it for a 3. That's also no good. Rebound Eric Strip. However, if you would have gotten it closer to the basket, maybe you would have made it. But I do love the open shot. If you're gonna be open, you might as well shoot it. Calmese entry to Price. He swung it out of the post, and a wild pass to the stands. Gonna be Gale ball. It looked like the slight miscommunication. Eric Strip was faked like he was gonna go down and then went back up, and then the ball got thrown to where he was gonna be instead of where he was, and that is how you turn the ball over. Marshallonis. Under 2 minutes in this first half. Cougs still leading by 3. Marshallonis gives it to Lewis, guarded by Why Not. Goes to the cup, kicks out Bennett. Bennett, Marshallonis, 3 ball, no good. Tipped by Morauskas. Out of bounds, going to be Cougar basketball. One of the big stats so far in this game is St. Mary's has 10 turnovers. Washington State just 6 turnovers. So if they can continue to force these turnovers, that's 10 in the first half. That's a big number for a team that plays slow and likes to play efficient. 10 turnovers is not very efficient. Yeah, they are not a turnover team at all, as Calme's bringing up the ball for the Cougs in their white. Trying to get something happening. Gives it to Eric Strip. Watts now has it. Right wing. Faces up. Now he's going to back down into the post. Fakes a kick out. Gives it to Price on the kick out. Who's going to, oh my goodness. He's going to drive to the lane, try to dunk on. It looked like Morauskas misses it. Gets the foul. He's going to go to the strike.
That would have absolutely brought the house down if Price would have finished that. It was a one-handed tomahawk attempt, and he was pretty high up there, and the only reason he missed it was because he got bumped, but that would have been amazing.
Was trying to get a poster here at Beasley, but yeah, almost ended that guy's life. Price's first free throw bumps in. Cougs lead by 4. 1:22 left in this first half. An impressive first half effort for the Cougs. Price taking a deep breath. Second free throw. Also good. Cougs perfect from the free throw line thus far. 36-31 ball game. 1:20 left in this game. Marshallonis looking for Morauskas. A couple of handoffs. Ross is going to end up with it. Morauskas has the entry, backing Watts out in the post. Gives it back to Marshallonis. 10 on the shot clock. Morauskas back to Marshallonis. Trying to go into the cup. A dish off to Saxon. He's going to get the easy lay.
Good finish and a good extension of the play by St. Mary's. He could have shot that layup, but the opts for another pass.
Watts, quick entry to Calmes. He's going to draw into the lane. Blocked by Saxton. 40 seconds left in this ball game. Morauskas trying to set up one last possession, maybe for the Gales. Ross has the ball, taking his time. 14 on the shot clock. Morauskas now has it. Right wing, facing Price up. A reverse layup and an easy finish for him. 15 seconds, now the Cougs have it. Watts backing down Bennett. Watts throws up a little post move and looking for the foul, doesn't get it. 3, 2, 1, and Marcello's not going to get that last shot off. Watts with the last bucket in the half. Cougs leading 38.
To Pacific, one of the worst teams in the WCC, second to last currently. They lead the #1 undefeated WCC team in St. Mary's. You're David Riley.
Absolutely, and we're talking about a team that just lost to Santa Clara a couple nights ago by nearly 30. Lost to Gonzaga by around 15 or 17 a couple weeks ago. And, those are good WCC teams. But, we're talking about St. Mary's, who are undefeated in conference. And right now, St. Mary's is just trying to play catch-up with WSU every time that, they might get an easy lay or, score a couple buckets. The Cougs on the other side just match it, and they've never been able to surpass this lead. So, break. And we will be back with the second half. Davis will be doing play-by-play. I'll be doing color. You have been listening to a lot of Cougar basketball on KUGR.
down that mountain.
20 minutes down and 20 minutes to go, and a 3-point lead for Washington State over St. Mary's in a massive West Coast Conference clash. And we welcome you into the second half. I'm Dave Hagen alongside Josiah Frank, and this is Washington State men's basketball on KUGR. It was a strong first half performance by the entire team for Washington State, and it's 38-35 at the half. And 26 points in the paint is the big story of the first half, and that's why they lead the Gales. And so, Josiah, how does Washington State continue to get the ball inside and score easy gimmies on the inside against a team in St. Mary's that has Mitchell Saxon, 6'10", and Morauskas, 6'8" on the inside? And Saxon, a guy that has 3 blocks tonight, and he has 136 career coming into tonight, so now he's got 139 career blocks, third all-time at St. Mary's school history. And so how does Washington State continue to get efficient looks on the inside?
Well, I think, first of all, I think Randy Bennett was probably pretty upset in that locker room. He's probably talking about how many points that they just scored into the paint. So I think something that the Cougs are going to have to do that they probably won't get as many open looks as they did in that first half. I think they're going to have to utilize maybe more of the pick and roll, also maybe like some post entry and then those back cuts. I think that's what worked extremely well. The things that are just kind of off of the environment of the game that is playing. But something I know that they did really well is if it was either Price or Eric Tripp or even Okafor, that pick and roll and then hitting the roll, especially the mix matches, I think that's where they're going to get their buckets. They actually had a few misses. I remember Okafor had one specifically where he had a beautiful, set a great screen, had the great roll, and then went up for the lay, but it just didn't go in. So if they can capitalize more on focusing on those bigs, focusing on those mix matches and back cuts and looking for the extra pass, I think it's going to work extremely well. And hopefully we can extend this lead and get a huge quad 1 win here, BC.
That would be absolutely fantastic for Washington State to get that big quad 1 win. And we talked about at halftime how this game kind of feels like the Arizona game from last season when the Wildcats came in a top 25 team to Beasley, and that team beat the Wildcats. They held on to that lead that they built, and so they propelled that win to later in the season and end up making the NCAA tournament. Can this team stay on top in this game? And if so, how do they do it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the big question. Can they stay off? Like the beginning of the season, kind of the entire season, it's kind of been a question mark. Can the Cougs capitalize on not only leads, but momentum and push to like finally score and finally win games at the end of the game? So I think the way they have to do it is to continue to be unselfish, continue to move the ball around, and continue what they've been doing. It's nothing out of the ordinary. They're looking for the extra pass. They're making back cuts. They're doing well. They're not hucking up shots. There hasn't been a lot of turnovers as well. We've been a very turnover-ridden team, and there's only 6 turnovers in the half. And for the Cougs, that's a great first half. And looking on the flip side, the Gales have had 10. So they can continue also on the defense side to provide pressure, speed up the Gales that are traditionally slower offense, then maybe we can sneak out of here with a huge win.
The Gales, a team that shot 5 threes on Thursday and only made 1 3-pointer against San Francisco. They were still able to beat the Dons by 20 points, even though they only made 1. They have 4 made threes tonight. They've shot 9 total. Washington State has kind of done that St. Mary's approach. 1 of 3 in the first half for a team that averages a ton of threes per game. And it'll be very interesting to see where they go in the second half. I would imagine that they'd still try to go inside, but we'll see what David Riley tries to cook up as they try to keep this lead against the St. Mary's Gales. Again, it's 38-35 as the second half is just about to get underway. Both teams still huddling up, ready to go. This crowd has been on their feet all night, and this second half should be no different. St. Mary's fighting hard, but you mentioned it in that when we were going to break and at halftime, we were talking about how it feels like St. Mary's is almost chasing points when Washington State has been getting anything easy. St. Mary's goes down and maybe trying to compensate for giving up 3 or 4 consecutive layups and trying to make a three-pointer to cut that lead down. So we'll see how St. Mary's responds to this tremendous attack from Washington State. And so we are just about to get underway to start the second half. Thrasherson to inbound to Cal Meese, and he'll bring it over half court on this near right side. And Washington State's offense will start from the top of the key with Cal Meese, and he puts it behind his back, broke the ankles a little bit, but now he kicks it to the far side with Price, and he knocks down a 3, and it's 41-35. Ethan Price knocks down a 3 to start the second half, and it's a 6-point lead.
What a crazy little cross-up by Counties, but to get Price over there, an easy 3-ball.
Marshall Lonis, double team comes, bounce pass inside to Morauskas, poked away from behind by Price on the left block. Good hands by Ethan Price. And it'll be a baseline inbound for St. Mary's, who now find themselves down 6 to this Washington State team. Just about 30 seconds gone in the second half. Inbounds to Saxon. Back to Marshall Lonis at the elbow. Cross-court pass to Barrett. Top of the key, guarded by Price. Puts it in his right hand now. Passes it back out to Morauskas. Into the corner. Ross down low to the left block. Saxon fights through a double team. Puts it up. Doesn't go. Rebound. Morauskas battle for the board. Ball on the ground. 2 players hit the deck. It's Barrett and Thrasherson, and a jump ball is going to be called. Possession arrow will favor St. Mary's. The Gales will keep it. So 19-15 left in the second half. 41-35 still. And another baseline inbounds for St. Mary's.
What a great defensive play. How Eric Tripp and I believe it was Price, they double team Saxon into the post and misses. Saxon's a great post player, misses that easy layup.
5th-year senior Saxon. He's developed really well in this St. Mary's program. The last few years, he's gotten the starts every game the last 2 seasons, and this is his 3rd consecutive starting season. Morauskas in the corner off the inbound. 12 to shoot. Cross-court pass to Barrett. Top of the key. Closeout by Price. Gets past him. Bounce pass inside to Saxon. Blocked. And here comes Cal Meese the other way.
Huge block.
Great defense again from the Cougars. It's been a Achilles heel for this team, is stopping teams in the paint and just in general on defense. Backdoor pass to Cal Meese. Thought about shooting it, but he almost lost control of it. They get it back to Luan Watts at the top of the key. Bounce pass inside to Eric Strupp. Puts it high off the glass and scores. A little turnaround jumper, and it's an 8-point lead for Washington State. 18.5 minutes to go.
He just kissed the glass with that little jump hook.
A little smooch off the glass indeed. Jordan Ross way out at the Cougar Head logo. Screen from Saxon. Thrasherson still with it. Spin move by Ross. Blocked by Eric Strupp. And Washington State back to the way. Full court pass to Luan Watts. Hangs in the air and misses the layup. And a foul is going to be called on Marshall Onis. And he's not happy. Luan Watts thought he was going to get an N1.
Luan Watts on the jumbo screen. He looked into the camera. He's like, it's just. But a great 3 defensive plays in a row for the Cougs. And it's just displayed into, a 3. That easy 2 by Eric Strupp, and now Watts is at the line. So just great basketball. Cougs coming in the half and firing out strong.
Luan Watts to the free throw line, the 6'6" redshirt sophomore from Fresno, California. He was the unanimous Big Sky Freshman of the Year last year. First free throw right down Broadway, and that's 44-35, 9-point lead for Washington State. He had 20 points in a triple-double, first triple-double since Kyle Weaver 2007 for Washington State, even though they did lose by 28 to Santa Clara. Made history on Thursday. Second free throw is good. A friendly roll for Luan Watts, and it's a 10-point lead for Washington State. And a whistle as they started the shot clock before they actually inbounded it. They'll reset the shot clock. Fresh 30 for St. Mary's. They're down by 10. How do you think about this start for the second half so far?
Oh, I'm so excited. Right now, the Cougs lead by 10. Started the half only leading by 3. So if we can push this lead, and now we're starting into a press, great stuff is happening in Beasley.
Full court press on for Washington State. Now they back out of it. It's a man-to-man full court press. Jordan Ross brings it up the court, crosses half court at the far right side. Leaves it for Marshall Onis. Picked up by Cal Meese. Screen from Morauskas. To the other side with Ross on the left wing. Guarded by Eric Strupp, directing traffic. He's going to want some people to come help him out. There's nobody there, though. 10 seconds to shoot. Drives in on Eric Strupp. That's a height mismatch into the corner for Morauskas. Guarded by Price. Step back. Thought about a 3. Now leaves it for Hardaway. Dribble back. 2 seconds to shoot. Doesn't even Morauskas know it, and he shoots it, and that does not hit the rim. It's a shot clock violation. Morauskas missed that tough 3, and great defense again, and the crowd on their feet.
What a beautiful display of defensive basketball from the Cougars. Some of the best defense I have seen all season.
17 and a half minutes to go, second half. 10-point advantage for the Cougars. St. Mary's has not scored in the half. Lawan Watts, top of the key, leaves it for Calmeese on the right wing. Trying to get it down low to Eric Strip. Him and Morauskas battling hard. Calmeese to Price, left wing. Dribbles through the traffic. Backdoor cut from Watts on the right block against Saxon. Turns, he's got 2 to shoot. Watts, free throw line jumper does not fall, and Hardaway skies for the rebound for the Gales. And he leaves it for Jordan Ross. 6'3" sophomore. Jordan Ross gets the start this year. Last year came off the bench. He was a 4-star recruit. Now it's Marshallonis to Morauskas. Way out at the top of the key. Marshallonis against Thrasterson. Screen from Saxon on the left side. Picked up by Eric Strupp, and Marshallonis falls down. Crowd wants to travel. They don't get it to him. 3 seconds to shoot. Ross straight away 3. No good. Rebound Hardaway, and he's fouled by Eric Strupp, who jumped in the air. And that's a foul on Eric Strupp, who does pick up quite a bit of fouls over the course of the game. That's his second foul.
Yeah, that's something that's oddly too familiar for Eric Strip. A great defensive stop again. Ross hooks up a shot. They get the offensive board, and then Eric Strip jumps up and then fouls.
2 shots coming for Hardaway. First one is good, and that's the first point in the second half for St. Mary's. 6'8" sophomore Ashton Hardaway from Carson, California. As you mentioned in the first half, son of Penny Hardaway, but last year he played under Penny Hardaway at Memphis, and he appeared in 30 games. He made 3 starts, and 75% of his shots came from 3. So very good three-point shooter as he makes the second free throw. Garrett's into the game for Washington State. Calmeese will hit the bench. 45-37, 16 and a half minutes to go in the next whistle. Under 16 minutes, there'll be a stoppage for the media timeout. Thrasterson, top of the key, bounce pass to Garrett's at the free throw line. Thought about shooting it. Passes it out to Eric Strip. Hounded by Morauskas. Top of the key, Garrett's pass to Thrasterson on the right wing. Gets a screen from Price, working on the left hand, spins to the right, back to Price. Pump fakes on Saxon, drives inside, 2 to shoot. Gets him in the air, puts it up, and knocks it down from the elbow.
Just great poise from Price. Waiting, knowing the shot clock is going down, and makes the great bucket.
10-point advantage again for Washington State. 15:55 to go. Next stoppage is a dead ball, and there will be a timeout. Jordan Ross, top of the key against Thrasterson. Kicks it into the corner for Hardaway. He drives inside. Good help side defense from Garrett's. Closed him off with the wall. Back to the way out at the logo for Ross. 5 seconds to shoot. Whittling down this shot clock. Ross inside, and he can't finish in the tap in from Saxon on the miss. 47-39, 15 and a half to go. Lawan Watts way out by David Riley on the far side. And now he drives in, and a monster jam by Lawan Watts. What a dunk.
Oh my goodness, he just nearly caught a body as Watts puts it into the cup. Oh my goodness.
Tremendous finish from Lawan Watts. One-handed tomahawk slam. 10-point game, 15 minutes to go. Marshallonis drives inside, rejected, but a foul's going to be called. A blocking foul. Garrett's still on the floor. And there was a lot of contact. Marshallonis holding his leg. Garrett's on the floor. 2 bodies still down. They haven't gotten up. Garrett's has his face planted into the hardwood, and he hasn't moved. Now he pushes up off the floor. Some concern for Garrett's as he got ran over. And he picks up the foul. So we'll go to the first media timeout of the half. Josiah, thoughts on that? Quick 4 minutes, but a really good 4 minutes from Washington State.
A great 4 minutes. Cougs now leading up by 10. And I think it's just been capitalizing on the mistakes that the Gales have made, but also playing extremely well on their end as well. If it's playing great on the defensive side and then going off for a quick, fast break, or if that's looking for the extra pass, being very poised when the Gales will play really good defense and then scoring on those like low shot clock opportunities. And then looking at Watts with that huge slam, just to kind of really hype up the crowd. And then a great block on the other hand, ended up getting tipped in. But the Cougs right now, if they can continue to do this and the Gales make a few more mistakes, this 10-point lead could turn into 15 or 20 very quickly.
Absolutely. 10-point lead for Washington State, 15 minutes to go. We'll take a quick break and be back. You're listening to KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Darius Lane.
It's a 10-point lead for Washington State, 49-39. Head coach Jimmy Rogers, the new head coach for the football team, is in attendance. He comes over from South Dakota State. Josiah loves to see him at these football games. Is that a good sign for Cougar football?
Yeah, you would hope so. You know, we love Cougar sports all the way around. We're very full-rounded here. And, yeah, I think I saw a social media post where he was trying to get fans into Beasley.
Okay.
So it may be a little influence tonight with a very good-looking crowd here tonight. So, yeah, you love to see other sports supporting other sports. Yeah, of course, you love to see that.
Yeah, success fuels success. And if basketball has a good season, football's going to have a good season. People are going to show up, and it's going to be great. And this is a really long time out as Garrett's got called for the blocking foul before we stepped away. Now the buzzer will sound. The entire 5 for St. Mary's is out there ready to go. Randy Pennant, the old school coach, says, I've had enough of these TV timeouts. I'm sending my guys out there.
Yeah.
David Riley taking every second that he can with his guys as there's a new 5 for Washington State. They've got Calmeese, Okafor, Thrasserson, Favors, and Price out there. For the Gales, they've got Marshallonis, Saxon, Morauskas, Ross, and Barrett. It'll be Marshallonis at. He is currently 7th all-time in career assists with 410 coming into today at St. Mary's. So he's a really experienced player. First free throw is good. He was the West Coast Conference Player of the Year last year, so really good. They did lose Aiden Mahaney to UConn, and a lot of people thought the St. Mary's team wasn't going to be very good this year, and all of a sudden, now they're 7-0 first place in the West Coast Conference, but they are down 9 to Washington State with 15:02 to go. Marshallonis' second free throw on the way, and that does not roll in. Grasserson gets the rebound, so the advantage stays at 9 for Washington State as Calmeese brings it over the floor on the left side. And they'll start their offense from way up top at the Cougar teeth. Vavor's trying to get free on the far side, and he's bumped off the ball.
Foul number 33.
Yeah,
Fouls on Barrett.
Marshallonis only having 6 points, and we're almost 3 quarters within this game. Just kind of crazy to see how he's competed tonight.
Cougars have had really good defense on the guards tonight for St. Mary's. Calmeese inside to the left block, swings it out for Vavers. A little flip back to Calmeese, and there's 14:40 to go. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Calmeese drives inside, swing pass over the top of Price, and that was deflected out of bounds. They will say it was deflected, so 6 seconds to shoot. It'll stay with Washington State, and they'll inbound it from the far side right in front of the Cougar bench. And they'll have Price go to inbound it with Morauskas defending him. 6'8" Morauskas against Price, and a quick inbound to Calmeese. 5 seconds to shoot. Top the key Calmeese. Free throw line pull-up jumper is no good. Offensive rebound fought for, but not corralled by Okafor. And that bounced right off his arms and out of bounds, and it'll go back to St. Mary's. So no points on that possession.
Not a bad shot by Calmeese, but would love to see if they could have got something just a hair better. It seemed just a hair forced.
It did seem very forced. Calmeese was kind of off balance when he shot that. As the shot clock was winding down. Marshallonis over half court on the far side, and we're back on offense for the St. Mary's Gales. They've had a tough time cracking the code of this Washington State defense so far. Marshallonis double teamed way out at half court. Now they swing it into the corner for Barrett against Calmeese in the right corner. Back to Marshallonis at the top of the key. Gets a screen from Wessels. Andy Okafor hedges the screen underneath to Morauskas. Gets blocked by Price on the three-pointer. And it's into the hands of Okafor, and another tremendous play from Price, using his vertical a lot today. 9-point advantage for Washington State. Calmeese splits through the lane, and that ball got blocked by Wessels over the top of the backboard, and it'll stay with Washington State.
I am so impressed by these defensive stops by the Cougs. Just again and again, they're also chipping away at the clock with these low shot clock opportunities for the Gales.
Calmeese to inbound on the baseline. 21 seconds to shoot, 13:53 remaining in the game, 49-40. Lawan Watts gets the inbound, working against Barrett. Jabs, goes to his left. Pass back out to Favors at the top of the key. Leaves it for Calmeese, way out at the Cougar teeth. Gets a screen from Okafor. Drives left hand, and an offensive foul, an illegal screen going to be called on Okafor. And that probably is on Calmeese because he went too fast.
It was, but also Okafor's got to stay set on that. He kind of reached his hip and leg out, and that's just an easy call for the officials. And just kind of a cheap foul, cheap turnover that you just don't need. You know, you want to capitalize on every offensive opportunity that you have. And when you miss with like a stupid call like that, it just, something that, you wish you could have done better.
Yeah. And it picks up a foul for Okafor, which is big. He's got one now, and Wessels dunks it over Okafor off the inbound pass to Marshall Otis, and then a good bounce pass inside to Wessels as St. Mary's cuts the lead to 7, 13:20 to go. Lawan Watts, top of the key, picked up by Barrett. Swing pass for Erikstrup on the left side. Picks up his dribble, gives it back to Okafor. Pass into the corner for Calmeese. Brings the ball up to the top of the key. Thought about a step-back jumper. Now picks up his dribble into the corner for Lawan Watts. Trying to set a screen. Lawan Watts step-back jumper in the left corner. That doesn't go. That's off the back of the rim. And Morauskas clears for St. Mary's. And full court pressure from Calmeese as he left it for Marshall Otis. Top of the key. Spins to the right hand. Hangs in the air and finishes against Calmeese. And it's 49-44.
Don't want this St. Mary's team to heat up.
No, you do not. And a big screen set by Erikstrup, and that's going to be a foul on Erikstrup. So back-to-back fouls on Washington State called on illegal screens.
Yikes. And I don't know if I agree with that call. I think that was a good screen, and he just ran into the big Erikstrup. Erikstrup's like 6'10". Yeah, Erikstrup is 6'11", 235. I think he just ran into them and kind of fell over.
Yeah, that was a big screen, but it's not like he extended or anything. It was a huge screen, so that will draw the attention of the officials every time when the player rocks his head. And so a foul called on Erikstrup, and it'll go back to St. Mary's. 5-point game, 12.5 to go. Washington State has transitioned into a little matchup zone. They're switching every time the ball gets out to the top. Morauskas jumper over Calmeese on the left elbow goes. That's just a height mismatch, and the 6'8" Morauskas scores over Calmeese. And back the other way, a turnover.
Off of Calmeese's foot.
Yeah, so 3 consecutive drives not successful for Washington State, and there will be another timeout with 12:30. 3 consecutive drives not successful for Washington State, and there will be another timeout with 12:30.
Themselves into a really weird position. If I'm David Riley, I think I sit maybe Erikstrup out maybe for at least a couple minutes. It's still pretty early into the second half, but I would hate to say that the momentum has kind of shifted into the Gales' favor. They had that dunk by Wessels that kind of kick-started it after the Okafor moving screen, and then another moving screen by Erikstrup or whatever they had called. And then another capitalizing on the opportunity. And what was a 10-point lead not long ago is now only 3. So hoping the Cougs maybe can switch back to maybe that kind of that man front that they had. They kind of switch into this kind of matchup zone, maybe kind of switching back to what they had before. But I don't know. The momentum has definitely switched, and Riley calling a much-needed timeout in this game.
Yeah, St. Mary's is on a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 49 seconds, and Washington State still holding on to a lead, but they have to make sure that they continue to build on the lead and not just hope that they can hold this out the rest of the game, because St. Mary's does have a lot of experience and a lot of skill. This is a team that will probably be in the NCAA tournament coming later in March, and we'll be down in the WCC tournament conference in Vegas, and that'll be exciting to see if Washington State maybe can get a rematch against St. Mary's, whether that's in the championship or the semifinals. So this could be a huge last minutes to see who's fighting for revenge possibly if these two were to meet again.
Absolutely.
speaking about postseason, St. Mary's, I mean, they're a great team. They have been to 17 straight postseason appearances. Only Gonzaga, Michigan State, and Kansas have longer streaks in the NCAA. So we're talking about some huge blue blood, powerful schools. And St. Mary's is up there with the likes of them, you know, better than Duke or even Carolina and those other storied schools that, you know, seem to always be into it. So would love to see, however this matchup ends tonight, would love to see them meet up again in the WCC tournament. And hey, you know, hopefully both make it to the March Madness NCAA tournament as well.
Washington State has not scored in the last 3 minutes and 11 seconds. We'll see what they can do on the defensive side after the turnover from Cal Meese. St. Mary's has their original 5 starters back into the game. And the inbound to Marshallonis. He'll bring it over half on the far side. 12 minutes to go. 3-point lead for Washington State. And St. Mary's starts their offense. They've got 20 to shoot. Jordan Ross at the left elbow. Crosses over. Goes back to his right. Bounce pass inside to Saxon, who spins. Discards Erikstrup and gets an easy 2 as Erikstrup hit the deck. And it's 49-48. 11:50 to go.
I feel like that was similar to that screen that they called on Erikstrup, but
Juan Watts, cross-court pass into the corner. Vavers, wide open 3, bang! 52-48, 11:38 to go. Vavers, absolutely a crucial aspect of this team, back into the lineup after missing games from December 2nd all the way to last Thursday with broken bones in both hands. Marshallonis bounce pass inside to Saxon, right-hand finish goes over Price, and it's 52-50, 11:20 to go.
yeah, you don't want him to heat up.
Absolutely not. Saxon, a guy that averages 10.3 points per game. Price, right corner 3 ball off the back of the rim. Vavers fighting for the rebound. Then a foul going to be called. That will be on St. Mary's. That's going to be on Marshallonis. And now we'll get the media timeout. So back-to-back timeouts, but we'll take this one with them. 52-50. Washington State has a lead. 11:09 to go. It should be a fantastic finish down the stretch. You're listening to KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. As the buzzer sounds, the teams are back on the floor. 52-50. Washington State has the lead. And some consecutive timeouts kind of stalls out the momentum for St. Mary's. Or will it? We will find out. Cal Meese will inbound from the baseline. There was a foul on Marshallonis on the Vavers rebound attempt. So it's 52-50. Washington State does have the lead. Calme's inbound from the baseline. 11:09 on the clock, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound to Lawan Watts on the short corner at the Pac-12 logo. Vavers on the corner trying to drive, and Marcellonis pokes it out of bounds. Marcellonis has 3 fouls, so if they can get another one on Marcellonis, it might put him on the bench for a couple minutes. He's their leader, their point guard. It would be valuable if Washington State could get him on the bench. Calme's inbound from the sideline to Price at the top of the key. Dribble handoff to Eric Strip. Puts it on the deck with his left hand. Fights towards the cup, and he gets it in. What a strong finish from Eric Strip.
Tough play by Eric Strip, just working his way into the paint.
54-50. Washington State has the lead. Under 11 minutes. Barrett picks up the dribble. Morauskas on the left side. Ross will settle things down. Gets a screen from Saxon. Didn't have him on the roll. Now puts it in his left. Double team comes. Kicks it back out. Marcellonis drives inside. Gets past the defense and an and one for Marcellonis.
Yeah, we've been talking about how Marcellonis, averaging nearly 14 points a game through the season and had only 6 in the first half. But, an easy lay for him, something that's been familiar for him for the entire season.
Yeah, one of their leaders for sure. He's the first player since Matthew Dellavedova to be the most outstanding player in the tournament and the West Coast Conference Player of the Year. That was back in 2012. So he's making some big waves at St. Mary's. So 10.5 minutes to go. Marcellonis to shoot his first free throw after the make, and he knocks it down. So 54-53. Why Not is into the game from Lapwai High School in Idaho. Really good high school player. Lawan Watts at the top of the key. Gives it to Why Not. Looking for Price. Bounce pass down low. It's big man on big man. Price against Saxon. Backdoor cut for Vavers, and a foul called on the cut.
Yeah, Eric Strip sitting down for a little bit. Don't want to get him in foul trouble. Definitely need him in those crucial minutes as it's continuing to be close.
Inbound from Calme's on the baseline. 1-point lead for Washington State. Inbound to Watts. Working against Morauskas, and a hand check on Lawan Watts. Another foul on St. Mary's.
That's foul number 23.
Paulus Morauskas.
Second personal.
His second foul.
15 foul again.
Calme's to inbound. To Lawan Watts. Same exact play. What'll be the result this time? Sizing up Morauskas. Gives it back to Why Not. 3-pointer on the way. Left it short. Rebound Saxon. And Marcellonis will bring it up the floor. 1-point lead still. St. Mary's can take the lead on this possession. Way out at the top of the key. Puts the ball in 2 hands. Drives to the cup. Kicks it back out to Barrett. Wide open in the corner. Morauskas gets Watts in the air. Drives inside. Blocked by Price, but a foul called.
It looks like Morauskas was trying to dunk on Price.
Yeah.
He almost got up there, but luckily Price got a huge piece of it before he got up there. But he was ready to take his head off.
Yeah, both teams have been going at each other's throats tonight, but
Yeah,
in the spirit of the game, I will say, they've been trying to dunk on each other. There hasn't been a lot of chippiness outside of the plays, but they've definitely seen red in their eyes when they have an open lane to the cup. So Morauskas will go to the free throw line for 2 shots to tie the game, and he knocks it down. So we're tied at 54 with 9:48 to go. Morauskas averages 12.8 points. He had 24 on Thursday. He transferred in from Arizona. He played 23 games on the bench for the Wildcats, but only scored 2.3 points per game. So he was here last year when Washington State beat Arizona. 54 all, and Morauskas gives St. Mary's the lead. They're 6 of their last 6 on the field goals. So 55-54, 9:40 to go. Lawan Watts at the top of the key. It's man-to-man by St. Mary's. They play that 99% of the times, and an off-ball foul called on St. Mary's. That's on Mikey Lewis.
That's foul number 0, Mikey Lewis. That's his second.
Would love to rack up some more fouls for this Gales team that they can maybe get into foul trouble early into the second half.
Inbound to Watts from Calme's on the baseline. Back to Watts, the inbounder. Swings it for Vavers. Top of the key to Price. And a foul off the ball on Lawan Watts, who trucked over Marcellonis trying to get free. And that foul called on Lawan Watts, and it'll go back to St. Mary's.
Foul call number 4.
And I think I'm agreeing with David Riley here. I don't know if that was an offensive foul. Looked like they were tangled up and then he fell, but they're going to give the call to the Gales. Riley pretty fired up a little bit.
St. Mary's back to work with a 1-point lead. 9.5 minutes to go. And a near steal by Lawan Watson. He steals it, but he saves it back into the hands of Mitchell Saxon, and St. Mary's will settle things down, and they'll try to play at their pace. Marshallonis drives inside, left-hand finish to the cup. Strong finish from Marshallonis, and it's a 3-point lead for St. Mary's. Calmeese over half court to Price, top of the key, back to Calmeese. Sizes up Marshallonis. Backdoor cut for Price, picks up his dribble. Calmeese gets the dribble, handoff corner, left corner, 3, off the back of the rim. Fight for the rebound. Morauskas has it. St. Mary's clears. No points on that possession for Washington State. 8:45 to go. Slowly will walk it over half court. Crowd trying to get back into this game. Washington State down by 3. Marshallonis, screen from Saxon. Top of the key, picks up his dribble. Defended by Watts. Bounce pass to Saxon on the elbow. Entry pass to Morauskas, guarded by Calmeese. That's a height mismatch. Morauskas, fader, pure. Calmeese 6'2". Morauskas listed at 6'8". 6-inch height difference, and a timeout called by Washington State at 8:13. And so this will be another situation where there'll be back-to-back timeouts. Under the 8-minute timeout, there'll be another media timeout. So they're capitalizing on this.
I think it's a testament that the Cougs have kind of started to kind of get away from their bread and butter in this game. They've done extremely well on not forcing anything, being very unselfish, honestly not shooting a ton of threes. If so, they're wide open. And those last couple possessions have felt really forced and kind of like an old style of Cougar basketball where it's extremely forced and just hooking up shots and not looking for the extra man, looking for post entries and back cuts. So I'm hoping that they can get back to that.
They definitely have gone away from what worked in the first half, and that was just efficient hard cuts to the basket, transition basketball. But now they're kind of playing at that St. Mary's pace where there's been a lot of possessions that have come down to the wire in the shot clock, and that plays into the favor of St. Mary's. And they're currently on a 20-5 scoring run over the last 6 minutes and 49 seconds. Very impressive work by St. Mary's, but Washington State has to get back on track. And one thing I want to highlight is that Isaiah Watts is not playing tonight. We thought he might get into the game because he's been out for a long time, since December 18th, and they said they might be coming back. And how do you think this game would be different if Watts was in the game compared to some of these other players that might not be having fresh legs because Watts has had so much rest?
Yeah, I think it would have been great tonight, especially with that lead and the momentum. And something about Isaiah Watts, he's definitely someone that can step up to the moment. And when the crowd gets into it, that's when he makes the big shot. So that 10-point lead could have maybe been 13, 15, 17. And instead of being down by 5 now, we could have maybe still been ahead. And the rotation could have been able to have everyone have like some more breathers as well. So we saw Watts. He looked like he was good. I mean, he was running around. He was jumping. I think he was dunking even a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looked like he was good tonight. He was in shorts and looked like a warm-up. So we assumed that he was trying to line up today, and then come to find out when they do the introductions, he's in jeans and a tee. So wish you could have had him out tonight, but hopefully we get him soon. So got to look at the best of both worlds, I guess.
Yeah. And we will see if these two teams do meet again in the WCC tournament. If Washington State does have a healthier roster, if this game looks entirely different, we'll see if Washington State can pull it out tonight. That would be huge to get a win with a depleted roster and have a lot of confidence going forward in the year. And that's just how valuable Isaiah Watts is to this team. We're talking about him. He's not even playing in the game.
Exactly.
So Paulus Morauskas has over 20 points for St. Mary's in the last 2 games. He's got 20 tonight, had 24 on Thursday. He's been surging as of late and picking up the slack for Marshallonis, who only has 11 points this evening for St. 8:13 to go, 25 on the shot clock. Garrett's is into the game for Vavers, and Price at the top of the key. Leaves it for Calmeese on the left wing. Has Price on the right wing now. Elbow jumper. No, he puts it in for Calmeese, and that was almost an alley-oop pass, but Calmeese was kind of just hanging in the air. It was on the downwards fall there, and Calmeese got fouled, so he'll go to the free throw line.
I love the patience from Price during that offensive play. He pump faked the three. It looked like he was going to step back and put it up, but then looked at Calmes after the roll, who's going to the stripe now.
Knocks it down. So 55-59. Nate Calmes, the Washington transfer, leads the team in points per game, assists, steals per game, but he also leads the team in turnovers per game this year. He's had a sensational season at the helm of the Cougar squad, the point guard for this Washington State team, and he knocks down the second free throw, 56-59. 8 minutes on the clock. Great finish coming down the stretch from Beasley. Full court pressure on for Washington State. Marshallonis breaks it, brings it over half court on this near side. Now transitions the ball into the middle. A four-wide set for St. Mary's. Some motion happening. Off-ball screens being set by Saxon. Back to Marshallonis at the top of the key. Swing it for Barrett on the left wing. Back to Marshallonis. Top of the key. Sizing up Price. Taking the shot. And he knocks it down. 56-62. It's a 6-point advantage for St. Mary's, and Washington State scoreless in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds and counting. Cross-court pass to Price, right corner, three ball, on the way, good! Ethan Price with a massive shot to cut the lead to 3.
Definitely needed that. Such a clutch shot.
7:12 to go. St. Mary's clinging to a 3-point lead. Washington State trying to fight back in it. Morauskas, right corner, three ball, off the back of the rim. Eric Strip gets the rebound, nobody around. Gives it to Parker Garrett, who will bring it up the half court. And now they'll start their offense. 6:56 to go. Garrett switches hands, gets into the lane, leaves it for Price, and a foul called. That foul on Morauskas. It's going to be 3 fouls on Paulus Morauskas.
Fouls on number 23.
Yeah, getting hopefully Morauskas and Marshallonis, and then Barrett has 4 himself. Would love to see one of them maybe foul out. They're a huge part of their offense.
Absolutely. And Barrett does have 4, one of their starters. So Price to the free throw line. He's got 12 points tonight for a 1-and-1 because St. Mary's has 8 fouls in the half. First free throw is good, so he'll get another one, and it's 62-60. Great last 4 points from Ethan Price. Made a 3 and has a chance to cut the lead to just 1 at the free throw line. Crowd is silent, and Price has the second free throw, 62-61. Under 7 minutes to go. Crowd getting to their feet, trying to get the Cougars back into this game and in charge. 6:45 to go. Marshallonis, right wing, picks up his dribble. Eric Strip's on him. Long arms from Eric Strip blocking the passing lanes. Marshallonis able to reset his dribble from the pass from Saxon. Looking to get an outlet again. Barrett at the top of the key, switches hands, spins to the left hand, and finishes inside. A smooth move from Barrett, and it's a 64-61 game with 6:20 to go. Juan Watts will bring it over half court on the far side. Screen from Eric Strip into the corner. Price puts it on the deck now. Dribble handoff to Watts. Into the short corner on the far side. Picked up by Morauskas. Back to Eric Strip. He's going to try his hand at the cup, and he scores. Right hand over the top of Saxon. 63-64. Under 6 to go. 1-point game. It's an intense matchup in a massive West Coast Conference game. Morauskas for 3. Rebound Price. A must-have bucket on this possession to take the lead. Calmes, top of the key. Switches hands now, gives it to Watts. To Price in the corner. Bounce pass to Eric Strip. Working on Morauskas at the Pac-12 logo. Puts it to the deck, and he's spinning. Spins twice. Puts up a tough shot, and a rebound by Morauskas. Not a great shot by Eric Strip. He just kind of forced that one up. Crowd back on their feet with 5:20 to go. Randy Bennett way out pleading to the official about something. Brasserson sitting at the scorer's table looking to check in at the next dead ball. Marshallonis, top of the key against Eric Strip. Calls for a screen, now switched on by Price. Spins to his right hand in the middle of the lane. That doesn't go. Fight for the rebound. Barrett has it. Garrett's is in there, and a timeout is given to St. Mary's, and Barrett's fired up. Under 5 minutes to play, they give the timeout to Randy Bennett, the veteran head coach. instead of the jump ball. It was a good tie-up by Garrett's, but they give possession to St. Mary's as the timeout was called. So under 20 seconds to play so far for St. Mary's. Has it been Morawskis or Marshall-Lonis kind of dealing better? Marshall-Lonis now up to 14 points. It's been a relatively quiet night for a guy with 14 points, though.
Yeah, it's kind of been this kind of Batman and Robin, yin and yang type of game where they've kind of been going back and forth. Morawskis, like you mentioned, has 20 and 11, which is, I mean, that's an impressive stat line in any game, especially in a game this close. But he does have 3 fouls, and then you're looking at Marshall-Lonis. He also has 3 as well, as he has 14. So I think you got to capitalize on the guy that's scoring more right now, Morawskis. Hopefully maybe you can get him in foul trouble. And I just have to mention the veteran move by Bennett. If that jump ball was called, it was going to be Cougar possession. So call a quick timeout. He's been a coach. This is his 24th year at St. Mary's, and he's been coaching, for forever. So
yeah, that is a great play. You see that a lot of times by mostly the veteran coaches when the ball is either in the corner and they're about to lose it or a tie-up's going to happen. They call a timeout, and they're willing to sacrifice a timeout for possession, especially with this little amount of time left in the game and how close it is. They still have 2 timeouts left. Washington State just has 1 timeout left. The possession arrow does favor Washington State. Both teams are in the single bonus. Washington State 7 total team fouls. St. Mary's 8 total team fouls. Washington State has not missed a free throw tonight. St. Mary's also shooting very good. They're shooting 90% from the free throw line. Marshall-Lonis inbounds to Saxon, and now he's wide open off the inbound. And then dribble handoff to Marshall-Lonis, and he scores a 3-pointer. Great play drawn up by St. Mary's, and it's a 67-63 game.
Can't have that.
Cal Meese at the top of the key. Drives left hand strong to the cup, and he gets the roll. Nate Cal Meese has had a quiet second half. He had 10 points in the first half. Now he's up to 14. Just 4 points in the second half. Lead back down to 2 for St. Mary's. 5:25 to go. Marshall-Lonis bounce pass to Morawskis. Into the corner for Barrett. Picked up by Price. Sizes him up, jabs. Now puts the ball on the deck with the right hand. Spins. Picks up the dribble. Back to Marshall-Lonis. 7 seconds to shoot. Screen from Saxon. Marshall-Lonis with the left hand. Cross-court pass way over the top. This is Morawskis. Step back 3 on the way and knocks it down at the buzzer. Devastating shot by Morawskis.
They have done nothing but clutch up during this last couple minutes.
Cal Meese drives towards the cup, had it stripped away. Marshall-Lonis the other way, leaves it for Morawskis. Left wing, pump fakes, drives inside, back to Marshall-Lonis. And Barrett ends up coming out with it as that ball slipped through the hands of Marshall-Lonis. Under 4 minutes to go. 5-point advantage for St. Mary's. Marshall-Lonis bounce pass inside to Saxon, and he missed the layup. Garrett skies for the rebound. What a great rebound by Parker Garrett. Smallest guy on the court, skies way up for that rebound. 3:20 to go, 5-point game. Eric Strip, top of the key. Pass to Garrett's on the right wing. Down low to Price. Right block, working on Saxon. Dribble handoff to Garrett's. Winds the clock now, gives it back to Price, and he shoots it, and he missed it. Thrasherson fight for the rebound, and the ball's tapped out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Washington State. And the under 4 media timeout is here.
What a great fight by Thrasherson on that offensive rebound. He, instead of giving up, he's double teamed, getting boxed out. He goes up for the tip and then goes back for it, and it gets tipped out. But just a great play, and to get the Cougs another needed possession. And we're nearly only 3 minutes left in this half.
The Cougars have not laid down and died in the second half. They are fighting hard, and they're still down by 5 with 3 minutes to go. We'll step away and come back and have the rest of this 3 minutes right here on KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. 5-point game, 3 minutes to go. And Josiah and I were just talking about the fouls on St. Mary's. 3 on Morauskas, 3 on Marshallonis, 4 on Barrett. And what do you do if you're Riley?
Yeah, if I'm Riley right now, I'm telling my team, attack, attack, attack. Attack Morauskas, attack Marshallonis. They each have 3 fouls right now. If you can get one into 4 or the other into 4, you can capitalize that now St. Mary's maybe has to take them out for 30, 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And they have to play a little more hesitant. They've been playing very loose. If you can get one of them to foul out and then be able to capitalize, Price has made some big buckets, some big shots. If they can hit a few more, then we can get this game within 5 and maybe even get a little lead. 3 minutes is a lot of time in basketball. So hopefully they can capitalize on this offensive opportunity right here off the inbound, off the timeout, and play some good defense. And, hopefully we can get something going here. Hopefully grab a win here in Beasley.
Absolutely. It would be a massive quad 1 win. St. Mary's ranked in the top 25. They're number 25 in the net. And as you mentioned, those fouls, that's something huge, because if you can get this game to overtime, that would be a monumental thing for St. Mary to not have Marshallonis or Morauskas if either of those guys were to foul out. And then who would they look to? We really don't know, because they have Washington State on offense in a must-score possession as the clock now winds down under 3 minutes. Juan Watson, the short corner on the right side, working against Barrett, and an off-ball foul is called. Who's that going to be on? They're pointing at Morauskas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fouls on number 23.
And that is on Morauskas. That's 4 fouls for Morauskas. And a substitute will come in for St. Mary's, but it's not for Marshallonis or Morauskas. It's for Mikey Lewis, and Jordan Ross is into the game. So Eric Strip to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. Referees are telling the St. Mary's bench and assistant coaches to sit down. Eric Strip free throw rolls in over the top. 66-70. Free throw for Eric Strip. Second one on the way. Knocks it down, and it's a 3-point game. 2:57 to go. Now there's 4 fouls on Morauskas. Marshallonis over half court. Crowd rises to their feet. The air's getting sucked out of this arena. Ross, top of the key, puts it on the deck, drives hard to the cup and scores. Got right past Eric Strip, and there was nobody in help. And it's a 5-point advantage for St. Mary's. 2:36 to go. Calmes races the other way. Back to Price at the top of the key. Picks up his dribble, looking for an outlet. Finds Loan Watts on the right side. Trying to get it inside to Eric Strip. Now they're going to swing it all the way around to Price. Bounce pass into the corner for Calmes. Watts coming to help. Ignores the screen. Price, top of the key, 3-pointer straight away. Bang! What a shot by Ethan Price. The Brit with 3. 72-70. 2 minutes to go. Washington State has cut it down to another close game, 1 possession, and they can take a lead next time if they get a stop here with a 3-pointer. Marshallonis, top of the key. Picked up by Eric Strip. That's a size mismatch. Will he take it to the cup? He tries to, but he picks up his dribble at the free throw line. Back to Ross. 9 seconds to shoot. Minute 50 to go. Eric Strip on the left side. Marshallonis drives inside, and he missed the layup. Saxon with the putback, and they did not block out Saxon as the tallest player on the court for Washington State. Eric Strip was guarding the ball. 4-point advantage for St. Mary's. Watts at the top of the key. Picks up his dribble, looking for an outlet. Stands there flat-footed. Gives it to Price. Looking for Eric Strip. That's not going to work, and now they finally get it to him on the elbow. Eric Strip back to Calmes. Drives inside. Kick it back out. Price gets Ross in the air. Price again. What a shot, Price! 1-point game. 74-73. Minute 12 to go. Ethan Price with ice in his veins. 2 consecutive threes. 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. Top of the key. Ross guarded by Watts. 1-point game. Saxon sets a screen. Eric Strip switches onto him. Right wing. Back to Marshallonis at the top of the key. 50 seconds to go. Screen from Saxon. Left-hand drive by Marshallonis inside to Saxon, and he scores on an alley-oop layup. And Calmes switched on to Saxon, and the smaller Calmes could not handle the 6'10" Saxon. And now it's a 3-point game for St. Mary's. And Calmes is arguing with the refs that Saxon might have pushed off on him. But
Marshallonis being, Morawskis being like 6'8", or Saxon being like 6'10", 7 foot. So they've been able to capitalize all night. And sadly, when it was a 1-point game right there, would love that a huge stop as that shot clock was dwindling. But to home by 3 could tie it, or 2 can make it a 1-point game. And if they can score quick, they could probably get the basketball back. So really cool stuff here in Beasley, but they need a shot or they need a play. They're only down by 3, but they need points preferably.
It's a 3-point game. Washington State will get the ball back on offense. The shot clock's at 30, game clock at 44. 4 players in double figures for Washington State. Price has 20, Watts has 14, Calmeese has 14, and Eric Strip has 16. So any one of those players definitely could get them the ball. That's the good news for Washington State, is they've got a number of scorers ready to go. Calmeese letting the ball roll up the floor on the near side, now picks it up, brings it over half court. Picked up by Ross. They're working some windmill motion on the far side, gets it to Price, wide open three-pointer on the way. That got blocked by Saxon, and a rebound by Morawskis. The ball got deflected, and Washington State's got a foul. Telling him to foul, and they trap the ball at half court. Thrasserson picking up Ross, and Calmeese tried to foul him. There's only a 3-second differential. Washington State's got a foul, and now they do. Calmeese will pick up the foul. So the Price 3 got deflected by Saxon, and it didn't go out of bounds. He just got enough on it to make it an air ball, and then the rebound by Morawskis, and Calmeese picks up the foul. That's only his 3rd, so that doesn't really matter. On it to make it an air ball, and then the rebound by Morawskis, and Calmeese picks up the foul. That's only his 3rd, so that doesn't really matter. And then 1-and-1. And he knocks down the first free throw. 4-point game with 16.2 seconds to go. Washington State let a ton of time come off the clock trying to force a turnover before they fouled Morawskis. Second free throw for Morawskis on the way, and it's pure. So 78-73, 16 seconds to go. Calmeese on the far side will let the ball dribble up. Now he will pick it up just at half court. Top of the key, pass to Eric Strupp, left wing, three-pointer. Too strong, tap rebound into the hands of Ross, and 8 seconds to go. Thrasserson will foul him, and another major miss by Washington State, and the crowd now will file out of the arena as they have given up hope for the Cougars.
Yeah, unfortunately, just a bad series of events.
1-and-1. Knocks it down, and now it's a 6-point game for Washington State to make up in just 7 seconds. It's going to take an absolute miracle to come away with a win here. St. Mary's can extend the lead to 7 with Ross's second free throw. And it is a 7-point lead for St. Mary's. Inbound to Calmeese, time ticking down over half court, and he will drive inside and he'll lay it in and knock it down. 2 seconds to go. 80-75 is the score. And he'll inbound it, and that's the game. St. Mary's gets the win, 80-75 over Washington State. The Cougars with a valiant effort, slightly shorthanded tonight, but they do fall to St. Mary's. It was a good first half, but then a better second half by St. Mary's. Washington State will lose their second consecutive game in the WCC. St. Mary's stays undefeated. And Josiah, quick thoughts on that game. We talked about it at halftime. How do they avoid the collapse? And then they ultimately could not avoid it. They fought hard most of that second half, but then St. Mary's just ultimately too much.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate. I don't know. As a Coug, you would hope to see these huge leads and this very promising games, and then it just kind of falls apart sometimes at the end. And so sadly, this is not an unfamiliar tale for WSU, and I think something that they can really learn on. A 5-point win to the top seed in the WCC. There's a lot more good there than there is negative, thankfully. But, just unfortunate that, a lot of times the Cougs, they happen to be bridesmaids more than the bride. So
Exactly. Well put. And so the final score, 80-75. Washington State falls to St. Mary's. They will have multiple quad one opportunities coming up. They fall to 1-4 in the quadrant 1, which is, for those of you that don't know, the quadrant 1 that means that the team is either a home ranked 1 through 30 in the net, a neutral 1 through 50, or an away game where the team's ranked 1 through 75 in the net. And the net rankings are more than just winning percentage. It takes into account the game, the results of the game, strength of schedule at the time of the game location, the offensive and defensive efficiency of those teams, and the quality of the wins and losses, which is a much more comprehensive ranking than the old system, which was the RPI, which just was based on winning percentage and the opponent's winning percentage. So the net is a much more comprehensive ranking, and so that does tell you a more realistic feel for how the team is. St. Mary's was ranked number 25 in the net, Washington State 86. So this was a quad one opportunity. They will have multiple of those remaining. San Francisco on February 1st, Oregon State on February 6th, St. Mary's again on February 15th. Those three are all away, and then they play Gonzaga here at Beasley on February 19th. That's their final quad one opportunity. Their next game will be on January 30th, next Saturday or next Thursday against Pacific. That's in Pacific. They already lost to Pacific, who's currently second to last in the WCC, and they're 6-16 overall in one of those, and they're now 1-7 in conference, and the only one win is against Washington State. So Josiah, what do you think about the remaining schedule, and how many do you think Washington State can probably capitalize on?
Oh boy. I'm an optimist, so the optimist in me is hoping that we can capitalize and maybe 4 or 5 more wins. But like you mentioned before, there's a whole bunch of those quad one wins in there. You know, we have to play a really good Oregon State team, have to play Gonzaga once again, have to play St. Mary's once again. So, and San Francisco as well. So I think if the Cougs can learn and do what they did in the first half and just not stray away from it, they definitely have the capability of winning 4 more games through the season. But they need to capitalize also on those tinier teams. When they play like Pacific again, they need to beat up on Pacific. It should not be close. It should not go down to a buzzer beater or anything of those natures.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping that the Cougs can kind of finish out this regular season, maybe sneak in a win or two, maybe Gonzaga at home, get a crazy win there, or something that can just boost a little more morale and take us through as we get closer and closer to the WCC tournament.
St. Mary's next game will be January 29th against Santa Clara, and then they play home against Gonzaga on February 1st. And so Washington State will play Pacific on January 30th. Washington State falls to 15-7 on the year and 5-4 in conference. St. Mary's will stay undefeated in conference and move to 8-0 in conference and 18-3 overall. And this seems like a team that's bound for March Madness. We'll see how they fare if they can get into the tournament, because of how reliant they are on those two players, Morauskas and Marshallonis. The leading scorer tonight for Washington State was Ethan Price, who had 20 points. He had some big shots down the stretch, but he also had that three-pointer blocked by Saxon, and that really was the dagger of the game. And so the final score, 80-75. And from Josiah Frank, KUGR, I'm Davis Hagen, and we will say good night and have a good rest of your weekend. And go Cougs.
Go Cougs.